Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. If you don't know me as a person, let's say you don't like me. You don't know me. You feel me? And I don't give a fuck him. Everybody including Will. I mean, Will.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if you want to dare to be great.
What I mean, leave them big guys alone. Stop trolling them, right? They're best 147 pounders in the world, and they're the best 140 pounders for a reason.
Gervonta Tank Davis recently stirred the boxing world with a bold statement on X. After Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, Davis claimed he could beat Crawford himself, saying, "I'll swing on him for real." He doubled down, vowing to train harder than ever, demanding respect in the sport, and insisting that a win over Crawford would cement his place among boxing's elite. But instead of celebrating Crawford's historic achievement, Davis's remarks came across as dismissive. Many analysts and fans criticized his comments, arguing that Crawford's triumph deserved admiration, not belittlement. They pointed out that defeating Canelo so decisively was something few believed possible, and to downplay such a moment was seen as both disrespectful and disappointing, coming from a fellow fighter.
Dominated a first ballot Hall of Famer, a 4-division champion, a 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and was the reigning undisputed 168-pound super middleweight world champion. Superstar boxer, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is now 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. And Gervonta Tank Davis, I'm not even going to read off his accolades, because what he did is just nasty work. And this is your king that y'all be praising. Gervonta Tank Davis, instead of applauding the accomplishments, just tip your hat. Just tip your hat. Hey, salute. And if you don't want to salute him, guess what? Just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. If you don't want to salute that man, just don't say nothing. Right? And so, Gervonta Tank Davis takes to social media because the boxing world is praising Terence Crawford for what he did. After Gervonta Tank Davis, when the fight was announced and when Terence Crawford was saying he wanted to go up from 154 to 168, Gervonta Tank Davis said he was doing it for the money, not for the legacy.
Even before the current controversy, Terence Crawford had openly shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis. He expressed doubt that Davis would ever step in with opponents who truly posed a risk to him, suggesting that Davis often preferred talking over taking the hardest fights available. Crawford went further, admitting that he simply doesn't like Davis, which means that if the two ever faced each other, it wouldn't just be about competition, it would be deeply personal.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways, nah.
Bill Haney, father and trainer of Devin Haney, didn't hold back when addressing Gervonta Davis's remarks. He flat out rejected the idea that Tank could ever duplicate what Terence Crawford accomplished against Canelo. In Haney's view, Davis needs to stop chasing headlines by targeting much bigger fighters and instead concentrate on dominating his own division. He stressed that Tank belongs at 147 pounds and should quit trying to gain attention by calling out champions in weight classes that don't suit him. to Haney, the comments were nothing more than a publicity stunt.
Gotta ask your thoughts on Tank saying he'd knock out Terence in 6 rounds. You think he was playing, trolling, what? Selling tickets to his new fight?
Was that like his tweets? Like he's
he said it
on video.
Huh?
He said audio. He said it. He's like, if I tap that chin, you know he chinny.
Listen, Terence has already hired us for any of the little guys. Anybody 130, 26, 30, 35, you know, Gary Russell, Tank Davis, you cannot go to get to Terence Crawford without going through us. Rolly Romero, leave Earl Spence alone. You see what I'm saying? You come over here and you get that ass whipping too. You know what I mean? Leave them big guys alone. Stop trolling them, right? They're best 147 pounders in the world, and they're the best 140 pounders for a reason.
Trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back when reflecting on Terence Crawford's stunning win over Canelo Alvarez. He called it one of the defining accomplishments of modern boxing, stressing that Crawford has nothing left to prove after doing what very few in history have managed. Hackett pointed out that not since the days of legends like Bob Fitzsimmons or Henry Armstrong has a fighter climbed weight classes and dismantled a champion of Canelo's stature so convincingly. What stood out most, Hackett explained, was the way Crawford got it done. This wasn't a close call or a lucky shot, it was a masterclass. A clear, dominant performance that left no debate about who was the better man that night. To Hackett, the victory cemented Crawford's place among the greats, elevating him to legendary status. He added that the time for critics and doubters is over. Crawford's achievements speak louder than any argument, and from here on, he should simply enjoy his legacy rather than worry about negativity. For Hackett, this was the very definition of greatness, and Crawford has now silenced every question ever raised about him.
Strong held them all at the same time. Legendary shit. He goes in there and beats arguably the best fighter or one of the best fighters of his era.
Yeah.
Regardless of weight class. What was your thoughts on the performance?
The performance was like clean. Like it was real. It was times where it was close calls. Like it looked like Canelo might, damn, Canelo might get him right here. You know what I mean? Bud found a way out, slip up out of there. He was working behind his jab real good, footwork real good, you know, setting the pace. He was creating what I like to call spider web in there. You know what I'm saying? That's basically setting traps with your movement. The part I didn't expect was for Canelo to really approach Bud like Bud, you know, like he was just gonna punch on Bud. He was, what I mean by that is Canelo, when he would hit Bud to his hips or like on the shoulder, because I seen him do it a few times. He was like, Canelo was like looking for those results that he usually get when he do those things. And I was like, I can't believe he looking at Bud like that. Like he really trying to play Bud. I mean, on the low. He know Bud can fight, but it was like, I'm gonna hit, all right, when I hit you on your hips, you gonna act right. I mean, when I hit you on your shoulders, you gonna act right. And you could tell Canelo's been spoiled over the years. Canelo's gotten better, a lot better. And Canelo is a legend for sure. But you could tell he's imposed his will on a lot of guys and won off of his poker face alone. You know what I mean? Along with the punishing shots.
Even though Terence Crawford has never hidden his dislike for Gervonta "Tank" Davis, he hasn't ruled out the possibility of fighting him. Crawford has been clear, if Davis is truly serious, he needs to move up to 147 pounds so the matchup can take place on fair ground. For Crawford, such a fight would serve two purposes: silencing the ongoing trash talk and once again proving his dominance against another big-name opponent. He's left the decision entirely in Davis's hands. If Tank really believes he can win, then it's on him to take the risk and back up his words inside the ring. Crawford's position reflects his confidence. He welcomes the challenge, knowing full well that even under those terms, the odds would remain stacked in his favor.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, and, you know, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow, man. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147.
Oh,
I'll make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're gonna have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
DJ Rahm, a well-known boxing analyst, praised Terence Crawford by focusing on his adaptability and complete command inside the ropes. He argued that Crawford isn't just another elite fighter, but one of the rare few who can truly do it all at the highest level. According to Rahm, Crawford's biggest strength lies in his ability to adjust to any opponent, whether it's a power puncher, a slick counterpuncher, or a high-pressure aggressor. What makes him stand out is how naturally he blends offense with defense, shifting strategies mid-fight and forcing his rivals to second-guess every move. Rahm described Crawford as a once-in-a-generation talent with unmatched mastery of distance, timing, and angles. To him, Crawford's bouts aren't just fights, they're demonstrations of artistry, with each adjustment resembling a perfectly placed brushstroke. Beyond being a champion, Rahm sees Crawford as a problem solver, someone who can break down any puzzle set before him. That ability, he believes, is what will secure Crawford's place among the sport's all-time greats for years to come.
Clearly, outboxed him like I said he would. You know, Bud is special, man. He can adapt. He can make adjustments. There's nothing he can't do. I was a little worried because in the beginning when the fight was announced, because of Canelo's power, Bud coming up, they're like, oh, he come up 2 weight classes. I consider it, he came up 3. Because he only had 1 fight at 154.
Yeah, 1 fight at 54.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like it's 3 weight classes in 2 fights.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that right there, that was a big thing because Canelo is strong. Canelo does hit hard. He got power, and he's comfortable at 168. You understand what I'm saying? More comfortable. I didn't know if the weight was going to do something to Bud, but I know there was ways that he could outbox him easily. And he did it. Towards the closer to the fight date, I changed my stance on it and leaned more to Bud, which was a good thing because my prediction was right yesterday on it. And he just outboxed him, outclassed him. He showed people. And I think he still followed a bit of the Mayweather blueprint. You know, Canelo has to plant his feet all the time to throw off his power, let off his power shots. He has to just make that quick stop, real quick, like a millisecond. That's all Bud needs to move out the way. Bud sets him up to get a reaction. By the time Canelo goes to throw that punch, Bud slips to the side and catches him that way. Pop, pop. It's too late. You know what I mean? For Canelo to his planning of the feet to throw his power punches. If more people figure that out and really take that into consideration in their training camps, I think he would have more losses. But a lot of them fear the power, like a skull.
Even after achieving something historic, many analysts noted that Terence Crawford wasn't receiving the full credit he deserved. They suggested that part of the hesitation came from the deep admiration fans and media have long held for Canelo, particularly in Mexico, where he is celebrated as a national icon. In contrast, Crawford, as an African-American fighter, has often dealt with unfair biases throughout his career. To critics, this highlighted that the response to his victory went beyond the ring itself. It touched on issues of favoritism, race, and how fighters are perceived within the sport.
Especially enough for a guy to come 2 to 3 weight divisions lower. Well, so you would be asking a guy to literally just stand there like this new slap exercise. Slap me and I slap you. That's not boxing. And that's extremely sour grapes. And my advice to you is this. Although most times people will stay on cold, there's exceptions to the rules where people will say, I'm not going that far. You know what I mean? Like by our administration right now that's governing the New Russia. They do a lot of illegal things on a daily. But this pedophilia, some people are saying, no, I'm jumping off the boat on this one. I'm going to go with protecting the kids. I mean, I'll go with you with a lot of stuff, but protecting the kids is kind of important to me. Should be, right? It should be, levels, or it should be, where you just you don't go a certain length, right? There should be borders, so to say, okay, I don't go past that line. And the line should be pedophilia, or a line should be no objectivity at all in the world of boxing. You saw a great performance, and Canelo just lost, right? This guy is just a better fighter. Right? If he can come up from that weight division and stand in the pocket most of the time, and still win. If you are saying that you don't want Canelo to be able to cut the ring off with this guy that didn't really run at all, then you're basically saying, well, listen, let's just stand and slug. And that's brawling, right? That has nothing to do with boxing. And so people are going to jump off that. And here's something else that's going to happen to you people right now with sour grapes and are racists running around just saying ridiculousness, right? Because you're disappointed.
Rising prospect Hamza Shiraz praised Terence Crawford, describing him as a true mean machine inside the ropes. Shiraz pointed out that Crawford has never struggled to figure out an opponent, always finding a path to victory no matter the challenge. His comments reflected the admiration that many up-and-coming fighters have for Crawford, recognizing him as a benchmark of greatness. For Shiraz, the dominant win over Canelo only reinforced what he already knew, that Crawford competes at a level very few in the sport can even approach.
So he said it about himself in the post-fight press conference yesterday. He goes, my mind wants to do it, he goes, my body can't. Doesn't mean he's totally shot. He's not totally shot. He's still a great fighter, and someone I could definitely see myself in the ring with pretty soon.
And beating?
Yeah, definitely. It would have been kind of nice for him to get the win and then me to fight him and then potentially have beaten him. But yeah, God has a different plan.
Look, it still could be Canelo. I don't know when. The plan's obviously a little bit ruined, but do you believe you'd stop Canelo Alvarez, Hamza?
Do I believe I'd stop him? I believe I've got a good chance of doing so.
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, shared his thoughts on what might be next for the champion. According to him, it's unlikely that Crawford will go chasing a showdown with David Benavidez. Instead, McIntyre hinted that Crawford may prefer to step back, possibly vacate titles, and take time to enjoy life rather than force himself into unnecessary risks. His remarks highlighted that Crawford has already accomplished everything he set out to do and has earned the right to move on his own terms. At this stage, it's about protecting his legacy and focusing on personal goals rather than responding to outside pressure.
Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terence Crawford.
No, man. No, they ain't doing that fight.
Maybe planning on vacating the belts?
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. We just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
Honest? Absolutely.
And he don't want none.
So what does this performance prove about the end of sparring? You guys were largely
I told you it don't make no
it.
difference. Didn't I say it? I said that don't mean shit. I don't give a damn about that.
Yeah.
I said that, didn't I? In one of those interviews, I said that. Don't mean shit, because he's no Bud Crawford. I'm not taking nothing from innocent, Boozy, them over there, them my guys.
Boxing legend Evander Holyfield also shared his thoughts on Crawford's stunning win. He applauded Crawford's performance, pointing out the precision in his timing, his sharp footwork, and his high-level ring intelligence. Holyfield explained that what Crawford showed wasn't just the skill of a champion, but the mastery of a fighter operating on a different level. To him, the victory over Canelo wasn't simply about winning. It was a display of pure boxing brilliance that reminded fans of the sport's true greatness. And coming from a figure like Holyfield, that kind of praise carries real weight.
What did you think of Crawford's performance over Canelo?
It was super.
Super.
Because the thing is that when you got both of the guys are good.
Right.
I just think that when you have two guys, the smaller guy is a guy that don't have the punching power, but he has the skills that's necessary.
Crawford.
Yeah.
So you were very impressed with his performance? Would you say?
Well, yeah. The point of the matter is, I knew if it came down to if somebody got knocked out, I thought Crawford would probably get knocked out.
Yeah.
But I know about boxing.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more updates. Until next time, take care.